Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of startAD Studio. Today, I'm joined by Charles from LlamaZOO. LlamaZOO actually just went through the Eldar Scale Up 2 program. I'm going to let Charles introduce himself and LlamaZOO.
Hi, I'm Charles, the co-founder and CEO of LlamaZOO Interactive. We develop digital twinning solutions for large enterprises based on their data to enable them to access their data in situ through hyper-real visualization and interactivity.
Charles actually was living in Canada, and he's now in Dubai. He just moved here. Charles, what do you think? It's completely a big switch, right? So how has your experience been so far?
Yeah, I'd say it's really exciting. It's it's nice to be in a big city again. I lived in Vancouver for a number of years, but last kind of been in a cozy little town of Victoria, BC. So yeah, I'm really liking Dubai so far. It's very big and exciting.
Much hotter.
It's hotter for sure. Yeah.
All right, great. So glad you're enjoying it. Okay, Charles, I want to start with the basics. Okay, so what motivates you to get up every morning?
I'm really passionate about what we do at LlamaZOO and the clients and partners we work with and the team. The technology for me is what's really exciting, and applying that technology to create value and unlock value from reams and reams of data that our clients and partners have that they may not be able to access otherwise. To me, that just really gets me excited. It's about creating the future. Before there was all this talk of the metaverse, it was digital twinning and AR, VR, and these XR technologies. I personally come from a gaming industry background, working for over a decade at some of the largest gaming companies in the world. And it's about taking those kind of experiences and those technologies and applying them to real world problems that gets me really excited.
So you were in the gaming industry, and now you're working with data and digital twinning. So when in your life did you make that switch, and what inspired you to make that switch?
Yeah, it was in the kind of 2013, 2014 kind of time frame. The gaming industry was going through kind of a transition, more focus on social mobile casual, which for me was interesting, but not really where I wanted to kind of focus my efforts. I was really passionate about, creating 3D worlds that, were explorable and creating those immersive experiences that were very common on, more the console and PC gaming. And so that was kind of when my co-founder and I decided, we both independently left the game industry and circled back together. We're like, hey, what if we took this kind of technology and applied it to enterprise and data? And that's kind of the founding of LlamaZOO really kind of at its convection point.
Very interesting. All right, so you're a co-founder to a startup called LlamaZOO, and I'm really, really interested. The golden question is, where did you get the name LlamaZOO? Where did it come from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the age-old question, $1,000 question. Everybody asks us this, there's some interesting stories. There's some myths behind the name, but really, it's a unique name. It's memorable. People often want to ask us, like, do you really have llamas? And it's like, no, we're a software company. Oh, okay. What do you guys do? Right. So it's a great conversation starter. And we picked it at the time because it didn't pigeonhole us into anything. And if they think of the name Amazon and Google, like, what do those things really mean? Right. Like, they don't speak to what the companies do. And so for us, that really resonated. And there's a bunch of meaning behind it that, would require some tea and coffee and maybe other stronger beverages to kind of discuss.
All right. I always thought it was such an interesting name, especially because you even have a llama in your logo. So you really took it to the next step. So interesting, yeah. Very interesting. I like the inspiration you took from Google and Amazon, because they really have nothing to do with what they do. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So have you noticed any differences with partnering with a large organization in a sprint accelerator model versus going through directly to them? Because I assume you've done both, right? So how would they compare? Which did you prefer? Pros and cons of either?
Yeah, I mean, I think the pro is it provides a structure that everybody's working alongside of, both the partner and the vendor, which is really nice, and a time frame that's fixed. Sometimes, if you don't have that structure, things can kind of wane or be put off to the side because they may not be the highest priority for everyone. So it can take longer. But also, I quite enjoyed having the kind of the coaching along the way and getting the input and the feedback from Giant and Reap, both fantastic groups that provided a lot of contextual and personalized feedback along the way, which was awesome.
Amazing. We're really glad you enjoyed it. So, okay, how do you see your business transforming in the UAE? So you have just moved here. I assume you still got a headquarters in Canada. So now you're come here to set up headquarters on this side of the world. So how do you foresee LlamaZOO growing from here?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of taking this hub and spoke model where, the headquarters in Victoria and Vancouver really act as that hub on the West Coast. And in Dubai or in the GCC, we want this to be a hub to access the entire kind of MENA region, but not just from a client perspective, but also from a talent sourcing perspective. It's easier to hire and synchronize time zones from, countries like India, Pakistan, the Africas, and regionally in the GCC. So there's an incredible pool of talent that's more accessible from here, and we kind of see the GCC as kind of that hub, right, with the spokes going out to all of the kind of surrounding regions. It's very central, right, and you could take a 4-hour flight in any direction and be in some of the largest cities in the world. So for us, it's everybody that we hire around here is going to be working remotely if they want and can synchronize to this time zone. And then, of course, on top of that, there's an incredible market opportunity with clients and partners. The GCC is growing immensely fast, and we're really excited to be here and investing in the region.
We're excited to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, so we've acknowledged that there's a huge room for growth on this side of the world, but what about in the sector specifically? So what applications of Web 3.0 are you most excited about, not just in the GCC, but globally?
Yeah, I mean, Industry 4.0, it might be getting a bit of a long in the tooth in terms of like as a term, but from what I'm seeing, the experiences I'm having in the conversations, there's a lot more pull from the companies here. They know the value of digital twinning and data, and big data, and visualization, and so it's already part of their kind of their growth plans and their strategies. Whereas some companies, the Western market might be a little more established. They've been around a bit longer, and so they kind of have their strategies already put in place, and digital twinning and digitalization as an innovation is something that they're starting to look at in the last 5-10 years. So they're having to revise their strategies, which is causing a bit more push. Back in 2014, 2015, 16, we were doing a lot of market education and the virtues and the strength and what's possible with mixed reality and VR, right? So that's what I would call market push. We were pushing it out into the market, whereas here we're seeing a lot more pull, which is what we want to find.
Yeah. Well, what advice would you give to new startups that want to enter this field?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the best thing you can do is find, a really good partner that you can grow with, right? Learn from. And what I mean by that is find that customer that will be your partner, that will work with you to kind of define, help define your product, because product market fit is the most important thing to achieve with product and growth. So if you're kind of designing and building something in a vacuum, it can be a lot more challenging to find customers unless you happen to be that ideal customer yourself and you're kind of dog fooding it and using it yourself and then releasing it out in the market.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So we're going to end it with what's exciting in the world of LlamaZOO?
Well, I mean, we did just, we are here in Dubai. We're opening a new office here, and we're going to be kind of exploring Abu Dhabi and the larger KSA market as well over the coming months, and growing a team here. So if you're looking for a job, hit us up, because we are hiring a number of positions internationally, but also in the region here and in North America. And it's very exciting because we have so many client opportunities and engagement opportunities. And that means, we're growing our product team, we're growing our customer success team, our development team. We have to build a marketing team. We don't even have that yet, right? It's been kind of very much a grassroots effort. So, we're just growing, and we're really excited. That also means more investment, new investors, new partners, the whole kit and caboodle.
How exciting. We're really excited for you from startAD's side. And we're
Thank
really
you.
excited to see you grow, particularly in this region, because we can actually see with our own eyes. It was a pleasure having you in Eldar Scale Up 2. We are really excited to work with you again, and onwards and upwards. Very
Likewise.
excited.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to meeting you all in person finally.
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, great.